The Adventures of David Perkins. Like, subscribe, comment. Hello and welcome to the Adventures of David Perkins. This time I'm walking around Furness Abbey in England. Furness Abbey, or St Mary of Furness as it was once known, is a former monastery dating back to the year 1123 of the Common Era, and before its dissolution by King Henry VIII of England in 1537 would become the second wealthiest Cistercian monastery in England. King Henry didn't personally take down the building, he probably had contractors to do it for him. Anyway, the abbey was founded in 1123 by Stephen, Count of Boulogne, for the congregation of Sauvigny, who were based in northern France. The monastic congregation of Sauvigny was otherwise known as the Savignac order. It began its existence at the Abbey of Sauvigny, situated in northern France. The order, however, originated in 1105, when Vitalis of Mortain established a hermitage in the forest at Sauvigny. Vitalis was a canon of the collegiate church of St Evroul. Vitalis resigned his prebend, that being the portion of the revenues of the church or collegiate church granted to the canon or member of the chapter for his stipend, to embrace an eremitical life. For clarity, eremitical means a hermit or recluse, especially one under a religious vow. Vitalis learnt his hermiting under the guidance of Robert of Abrissel in the forest of Craon near Anjou. Eventually, Vitalis would leave Abrissel and build his own hermitage in the forest of Sauvigny. Vitalis's hermitage attracted a number of disciples, and this required the construction of adequate buildings for their monastic life. They followed the rule of St Benedict and interpreted it in a manner similar to the Cistercians. However, the community wore grey habits as opposed to the black of the Benedictines or the white choir robe of the Cistercians. By the year 1112, the local lord, Rudolf of Auger, confirmed to the monastery the grants he had formerly made to Abbot Vitalis, and from then dates the foundation of the monastery. Once firmly established, its growth was rapid, and it soon became one of the most celebrated in France. The founder was judged worthy of canonization, and many of his successors in the abbatial office, as well as simple monks of the abbey, were canonized or beatified by the church. Vitalis of Sauvigny died in Sauvigny on the 16th of September 1112 at the age of 60, give or take a year or two. Well, that's enough backstory. So, Furness Abbey. Built entirely out of local sandstone, well, not entirely. I mean, it must have had sand and limestone to make the slate, iron nails, glass windows, lead to hold the glass windows in place, wood for the furniture, wood for the doors, cloth for the cushions. I could go on, but you get the idea. The abbey passed the Cistercians in 1147. They greatly enlarged and rebuilt the original ornate church. The majority of the current ruins date from this time. 1400s it had been completely remodelled, and had become the second richest and most powerful Cistercian abbey in England. The abbey was in a remote border territory, and became wealthy from land ownership and trade with the Isle of Man, eventually owning several mines and building Rushden Abbey on the isle. The abbey became influential enough to have King Rognvald Orson of Man and the Isles buried there. Despite having a large abbey on the Isle of Man, many of the bishops of Sodor and Man were also buried here at Furness. The abbey even built Peel Castle to control trade between the Furness Peninsula and the Isle of Man, with ley tunnels said to run from the abbey to Peel Castle 10.5 kilometres to the south, and Dalton Castle 2.5 kilometres to the north. For a while the abbey had a good time of it, but was de-established and destroyed in 1537 during the English Reformation under the order of King Henry VIII of England. Next time on the Adventures of David Perkins, I shall be walking around Jerusalem.